All right. So I'm not gonna go over everything, but the first day when the second day, last Friday, we worked on solving equations. You guys remember that? And then yesterday, we worked on reflections. Again, I'm not going to talk about the in details, but we've covered 4 different type of reflections. One is the reflection on x-axis, which is this line right here. We also did reflection on y-axis, which is right there. We did reflection on y equals x. And then we did reflection on y equals negative x. Each reflection had specific rule, right? And again, I'm not going to talk about that today, but we will review on these questions again, okay? Probably on Friday, okay? But let's move on to today as what we need to do. Today, we're going to go over on translation, okay? Now, what is a translation? So, translation in informal language is slide. Basically, you're going to slide. That's what translation is. Okay. And and that's what, really basic sort of computer. I don't know. I don't even know computer programming. You guys know better than this, but if you want to move a object from here to here, you're going to slide, right? You're going to tell your computer, hey, move to the left 4 spaces and then move up 1 space, right? And then the computer will do that, right? That's okay. I'm glad you made it, okay? Somebody just came in, so I'm glad that you could join the class. So, and that's what slide is, or translation, okay? Every translation problem, you will be given with a rule, how much you're going to slide. You will be given with the 2 numbers. First number, you're going to slide sideways. Okay. For example, this one, you're going to move 4 units to the left, right? And then you're going to move 1 unit down. And that is going to be the rule for this translation problem. Okay, so to indicate the rule, this is more of a kind of a descriptive rule. But if you want to write it in mathematical notation, the rule is going to be, now the sideways shift that's an x coordinate, isn't it? So you will write it x minus 4. Why is it minus 4? Why not x plus 4? What do you guys think? It's because you are shifting to the left, right? That's the key term here. Left means that's a negative direction, isn't it? Thank you, Nick. Right. Negative is a negative direction. So the rule, if you want to describe the rule, it's going to be x minus 4. And then 1 unit down. That's up and down. And then down means negative y, isn't it? Up and down is the y coordinate. And then 1 down means y minus 1. So that's how you describe the rule, okay? Now, just like yesterday for reflection, we're going to figure out the coordinate. So let's just write down the coordinate right here. I know it takes some time to do the diagram, so let's just focus on the coordinate, okay? So first, let's just do 1 point at a time. I would like you to first tell me the coordinate for x. What is the coordinate, x coordinate, coordinate for the vertex x? You write it down. Thank you, Oliver. Yeah, would you, everybody agree with that? Oh, you're already figuring out the new location, right? Very good. So it is, you always come from the origin, the center, and then the x, you go 1, 2, 3 to the right, and then 3 up. So that's 3, 3. Okay. Everybody okay on that? Now, let's figure out the new location of x. If you shift 4 units to the left, that means you're going to subtract 4. So you're going to do 3 minus 4. And that's a -1, isn't it? That means the new coordinate, x coordinate, is going to be -1. Okay. And then for y, the rule is you subtract 1 because you want to shift it 1 down. So you subtract 1. And what's a 3 minus 1? Obviously, it's 2. So the new coordinate for the y coordinate is going to be 2. Yeah, does that make sense? So let's do the rest. This is basically, that's it. This is the translation, okay? But let's finish this up. What's the coordinate for E, the vertex E? Is everybody with me? Yeah? Oh, somebody's waiting to get in. Hey, Caitlin, good to see you. I didn't notice that you were waiting to get inside, so thanks for waiting. So we just started the today's lesson. Okay, so if you can catch up on the writing there. So what's the E? E is it 0, 1, or 1, 0? Which one is it? Last class, there are a couple of people answered it's a 0, 1, and some said a 1, 0. Which one is it? E is, again, always the sideways shift first. Now, how many spaces do you go to the right or left? It's a 0. You don't need to go left or right, is it? So the coordinate is a 0 and 1, okay? It's very important that you name the coordinate correctly, okay? Now we are going to apply the rule, which is to subtract 4 and then subtract 1, right? So what's a 0 minus 4? 0 minus 4. Isn't that -4? Okay. And then 1 minus 1, and that's going to be 0. So the new location, E prime is going to be -4, 0. X prime is going to be -1, 2. Okay, let's do V. So please hang on to your answer so that other people can figure it out on their own. I'm going to give you 1 minute, okay? I want you to figure out the coordinate for V, and then I want you to figure out the coordinate for V prime, okay? if you're done with the V, you can work on Z as well. All right, so it's been a minute. Let's figure out the coordinate for V. V is right here. What's the coordinate? Again, you always count from the origin. You go sideways first. So that's 4 positive, right? So it's positive 4. And then you don't go up and down. So it's a 4, 0. Is everybody okay? Very good, Stephanie. And then V prime. What is going to be the V prime? To find out the V prime, you're just going to apply the rule. And the rule is right here. You're going to subtract 4, and then subtract 1 for each number. 4 minus 4 is to 0. 0 minus 1 is negative 1. So the V prime is going to be 0, negative 1. Okay? And lastly, Z, what's the coordinate for Z? Have you guys already done that? Do you guys need time? Let's do 30 seconds, okay? Let's figure out the coordinate for Z and then figure out coordinate for Z prime. Very good, Nick. Hey, Nick, do you want to share that with a direct message so that people can figure out on their own too? Yeah. I really appreciate that though. Okay. You're doing a great job. So Z, yeah, you guys okay? Z will be, again, it's you go 2 to the right, 4 down, isn't it? So that's 2. Let's do the red. It's 2, negative 4. That's the coordinate for Z. And then for Z, we're going to apply the rule. You're going to subtract 4 for X coordinate, and then 1 down for Y coordinate. So what's 2 minus 4? That's negative 2. And then what's a negative 4 minus 1? Is everybody okay on that? It's a negative 5. Yeah, is that what you have? Does that the number you have? Okay. So now if you have the diagram, does anybody have a diagram on your notes? I told you that you didn't have to, but if you plot the points for these, we will see the slides or translation. Negative 1, 2, that's X prime. Negative 4, 0, that's E prime. Then we've got 0, negative 1, that's V prime. And then negative 2, negative 5, that's Z prime. And it should produce identical shape, except that it had been slided 4 units to the left, 1 unit down. And it looks pretty good to me, yeah? So I'm pretty confident that we did it correctly. Does that make sense, guys? So this is basically a translation. It's pretty easy, right? I hope. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to move on. Here's another question for you. I want you to figure out the rule. Write the rule of the following translation. Can you guys do that? So I'll give you 1 minute. Then write it down. You can just describe it in a sentence or whatever. Okay. And I will teach you how to formally present your answer. But what's happening in this translation? Okay, so it's been about a minute. Yeah. So let's figure out. Up 4 right here. Okay, yeah. So to do this, you can just pick any point. And I'm just going to pick B. Okay. And then the new location is right over here. Again, you got to know which one, which one is the original triangle? Is it the blue one or the red one? Original is the blue one. Yeah. Why do I know that? Because it doesn't have any prime notation. It's just A, B, and C. So that has to be the original. And then the red one has the prime notation. So that means that's going to be the after translated. Okay. And then all you have to do is just count the spaces. From B to B, right there, B to B, it happens, you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the right, right? 8 right. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 up. Yeah, very good. So how would you write the other rule? You can do, it's basically 8x plus 8 because the right means positive direction. And then 4 up, that's also positive too. Y plus 4. So that will be the rule, okay? Yeah, so do you see that, Stephanie? It has to be the positive instead of a negative, yeah? Because you're going from blue to red, not red to blue. Okay, so you go 8 spaces to the right, 4 spaces up. Okay, basically that's it. That's all I have. So let's work on the assignment, okay? And again, I think we will just finish this assignment. Yeah, is everybody okay? Any questions? Okay. Leo, are you all done with assignments now? Some people can finish the assignment very quickly. Just stay with us and just go along, and we could use your help too. Okay. So for number one and number two, let's just deal with the coordinate. Okay. So let's go something like this. I wish I could have created more space here. So let's do G and then G prime. And we've got T and then T prime. And then we've got B. Let's use different color. B and B prime. So I want you to be able to fill it in. Okay. You guys want to try this all by yourself first? Okay. Now, I guess let's write down the rule. The rule, X and Y becomes what? What's the rule? 5 units right, 1 unit up. So the rule is it's X plus 5, Y plus 1, isn't it? Okay. So let's figure out G, T, and B. So make 2 minutes. Okay. I'll be right back. I need to take medicine for today. Does anybody need any help? If you need a little more guidance, just go along with me. Okay, if you can do this all by yourself, just keep going, okay? So for G, again, let's figure out the coordinate. What's the coordinate for G? Again, you always start from the origin. You count sideway first. Always the first number is the sideway. The second number is up and down. So you go 1, 2, 3 left, right? That means it's -3. And then you go 1 down. That's -1. So coordinate for G is -3, -1. You get that? Let's do T. What's the coordinate for T right here? Again, you always come from the origin. You go 1 left, 1 down. That's -1, -1. You get that? Let's do B. What's the coordinate for this one? B, right there. Can you come from right here? Always the sideway first. I cannot tell you how many times I've seen you going up and down first and then sideways second. You don't want to do that. Sideway first. Because that's the x coordinate. Sideway is the x coordinate. So you go 1, 2, 3 left. So that's a -3. And then you go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 down. That's negative 5. Okay. All right, thank you, Leo. Nice job. Now, we're going to figure out the new coordinate. Okay. And for x coordinate, the rule is you're going to add 5. Okay. So what's negative 3 plus 5? That's 2. And then for y coordinate, you're going to add 1. So what's negative 1 plus 1? And that's a 0. So the new coordinate for g is going to be 2, 0. You're just going to do the same thing. You're going to add 5 to, now it's going to be t, negative 1. Negative 1 plus 5 will be 4. Negative 1 plus 1 is, again, 0. And for b, the last one, last coordinate, if you add 5, negative 3 plus 5 is going to be 2. Negative 5 plus 1 is negative 4. So that's it. Okay. Now I've got the other sheet, the diagram ready. And so I'm going to graph it. Okay. So G prime is going to be 2, 0. That's G prime. Then T prime is going to be 4, 0. T prime. B prime is going to be 2, negative 4. That's a B prime. First of all, are they the same triangle? It should be. If you get different type of a shape, different triangle, then we've done something wrong. Okay, but it's identical triangle, except it was shifted 5 spaces to the right, and then 1 space up. Okay. All right. Let's do number 2. We're going to do the same thing. Okay. I'm going to give you 2 minutes to work on it. So I'm going to scoot it over. Let's do y prime, g prime, and then m prime. So I want you to fill them in. Okay, 2 minutes. Are you able to make a progress? Will you let me know if you have any questions? Or if you want to confirm your answer, you just send the question or whatever directly to me in the chat. If you don't get it, just let me know. Just type in, I don't get this. It doesn't offend me at all. Let me know. Yeah. Would you indicate if you're done with number 2? If you've got all the 6 coordinate figured it out. Just type in like, I'm done. Okay, thank you, Oliver. Anybody else? No, you don't need to graph the diagram. If you want to, please work on it. That would be wonderful. But I'm not gonna require you to copy the diagram. There was a question about that. Okay, where are you guys? Anybody else? Are you guys all done? Maybe still working on it. Okay, thank you. All right, well, let's get started, okay? Let's just go one at a time. What is the coordinate? Let's figure out all the coordinate for the original shape. So what's the coordinate for y? It will be -3, 0. You okay on that? And then g will be 0, -2. Will you check and see if you have the coordinate correct? If you have the original coordinate wrong, then your answer is going to be wrong too, right? So make sure you have that correctly. And then the m is going to be -3, -4. -3, negative. So these are the coordinate. Now, I guess we should have figured out the rule first. The rule is 1 unit left. What does that mean? Left is a negative direction, so that's going to be x minus 1. And then 2 up, that means y plus 2. That will be the rule. I guess we should add that rule. Okay. X minus 1, y plus 2. That will be the rule. Okay, you're going to subtract 1 for all the x coordinate. These are the coordinates, right? X coordinate. So let's do that. Let's subtract 1, subtract 1, subtract 1. And you're going to add 2, add 2, add 2. And then you get the new coordinate. So the new coordinate for y, or y prime, is going to be -4 and 2. G prime, well, let me ask you, what's going to be G prime, this one? Can you type it in the chat? What's going to be the G prime? It will be negative. Anybody else? Negative 1, 0. Yeah? You see why it's 0? It's negative 2 plus 2. That's a 0, isn't it? Yeah? That's all right. And then how about M? Everybody give me the coordinate for M prime. 2 numbers. What would that be? Everybody, what's M prime? Yeah, you okay with that? It will be negative 3 minus 1. That's negative 4. And then this one, negative 4 plus 2. That's negative 2. Okay. So if you were to graph that, y prime is negative 4, 2. That's y prime. G prime is negative 1, 0. That's a G prime. M prime is negative 4, negative 2. That's M prime. Is it still the same triangle? Except it's been shifted? Yeah, it looks pretty good to me. Yeah, so you know that you've done it correctly. Okay. Okay, let's skip number 3 because we've been basically it's the same type of a question. Okay. Maybe some of you might have already done number 3, but I'm sorry, let's skip that one there. Is everybody okay so far? Yeah. Okay, number 4. Does anybody need more time to copy or write down number 1 and number 2? Yeah, number 3, it's pretty much about the same type of a problem, so we're going to skip that one there. Okay. Number 4. Can you write down the rule? So it's again that type of a question, rule for that translation. And then once you have the rule, show me in the chat. Send your answer directly to me. What would be the rule for this translation? Now, Brandon, before you, yeah, you're very, very close. One thing that you need to think about is which triangle is the original triangle? You need to think about that. Is red one the original triangle? Or is it the blue one the original triangle? Then that will determine the direction, doesn't it? Okay, we'll go over in a minute. Okay, so hang on just a second. Again, some of you again are mixing things up. Which triangle is the original? Which direction are we going? Are we going from red to blue or blue to red? Otherwise, you've got 2 different answers, right? It cannot be both. The original is, in this case, it's the blue one. How do I know that? Because the blue does not have any prime notation. Prime is always the after. And you see that red triangle? It's got the prime, 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 right? That means we are going from blue to red, not red to blue. It's from blue to red. That's right. So in order for you to go from blue to red, no, I can't erase it. Okay. So let's just take a C. You go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 left. So 6 left, and then 2 up. In other words, now this is not a formal answer. So your answer will be x minus 6, y plus 2. And that will be the answer. Okay. Well, you learned something, right? Or if you made a mistake, didn't you learn something out of that? Yeah, that's what really is matters. Okay. Now you're a little bit smarter, right? Now you know how to tell which direction you're going. It's from blue to red. Some questions are red to blue, right? Yeah, well, that one also was blue to red. Okay. But you know how to tell the direction. Okay. All right. Last question. Now, this is a little different notation. Some teachers will use this kind of things. This simply means it's x plus 2, y plus 3. Okay, that's the rule. Okay. Now, what do you think the question is asking you? The question is asking you that you already know what the end product, what the translated coordinate is. And the coordinate is -5 and 8. And your job is to figure out what is the original location, original coordinate. And that's what we are after this time. So you're going to do backwards. Does that make sense? Okay, that's right. So what is the coordinate of x and y? Okay. All right, well, let's figure out then. So does anybody have the answer for x and y? What is the original coordinate? Now, we already know the rule, though. The rule is you add 2 and add 3, right? So if you want to go backwards and figure out the original, what do you think you need to do? You're going to reverse the process. So instead of adding 2, you're going to actually subtract 2 and subtract 3. Does that make sense? Because you add 2 to get to the new location. But if you want to go backwards, don't you have to subtract 2? Does that make sense? So the new coordinate x and y is going to be -5 minus 2, which is -7. And then 8 minus 3, which is 5. So the original coordinate should have been -7 and 5. And then if you add 2, you're going to get -5. If you add 3, you're going to get 8, right? So you're going backwards in this case. What do you guys think? Scale of 1 to 5. I'm going to ask you this every day. Where are you? 5. I've got this. 4. Hey, pretty good. Right? 2 will be, I'm still not quite sure. Maybe 6. All right, good. Anybody else not feeling not too good about this stuff? Do you feel okay? All right. Now we definitely need more practice. Okay. I think we've done enough for today. And so I'm going to stop here. Okay. So please make sure that you take a picture of your work, your notebook, okay, not mine. Don't take a picture of this screen. Yeah, but please take a picture of your notebook. And then I want you to submit it today. Let's do that right now. Okay. If you are still having problem submitting your assignment, please stay and please talk to me. I will teach you how to do that. Okay. Otherwise, you guys have a great day. If you have any questions, please stick around. I'll be happy to talk to you on an individual basis. Otherwise, I will see you guys tomorrow. Okay. Take care. Okay. Have a great day, guys. Does anybody need any help? Let me turn off the recording first.